Hey, my Denise! What's up, what's up, what's up? Good to see y'all. Welcome in. It is the 4th of October, meaning we're 40 days away from Halloween, and that's my favorite holiday. For no in particular reason. But yeah, guys, I'm doing well, and yeah, I am waiting for Cackles to come, but tonight we all talk about the Animaniacs reboot. And guys, let me say this. I'm not looking forward to it at all because this is a show that I don't really care for myself. But yeah. So tell me, y'all. Oh, here's our co-host, Cackles.
Hello.
Hey, I see
Uh,
you got your audio broken again.
yeah. Your camera's you're a little squished down.
Yeah, hold on.
You're sinking, man. You're sinking.
Yeah, yeah, give me a minute. I will try to fix the, what,
So how are we today at the start of October?
hey, I'm ready for Halloween.
That's good. I'm working on a couple of stuff. What do you have before we get started? Like, what do you have planned this week?
Okay, so for this week, I'm gonna be, well, I will probably be posting it on Tuesday, but I'm gonna be taking another look at the Halloween special, the Halloween tree.
Okay. Oh, I see you put up a Spooktober announcement. I didn't check that yet.
Yeah, I put that up today, so yeah.
All right, I'll take a look at that later.
Uh, okay, so what do you have coming up this month or this week?
Well, I'm going to be doing some Halloween themed games and shows. I'm going to try and put up a reaction to the Mark Twain special, which is like a claymation that's super spooky,
Mm,
and just do a bunch of like old school 80s, 90s, and early 2000s Halloween themed stuff.
nice, yeah.
I did watch the Grinch Halloween special, so I'm going to try and do a quick review on that one.
Yeah, Halloween is good night. I
Yes.
did, I did that one. a
I
couple
remember.
years ago. I enjoyed it, and you know, you might find it funny, Cackles, and I laugh at this every time I see it brought up to me. But yesterday I was reading one of your false comments on my channel.
Oh.
Yeah, um, back like 4 years ago when you began to
Mhm.
follow. I mean, guys, this guy's been following my channel for as long as I can remember.
And I haven't caught you yet.
I mean, I guess it's little, but I'm genuinely curious. What do you remember? What made you subscribe? What video that got you to subscribe?
The particular one, I don't know what the video was, but it was your enthusiasm during it.
Alright.
I knew you cared about what you were talking about, and that's all that really matters to me. That the person who's making the videos actually has something to say, whether I agree with them or not. And I
And
can always tell when I'm watching your stuff that you actually care about what you're saying.
yeah, and that's a good segue into tonight's topic.
Especially when we're talking about agreeing or disagreeing.
Yes, yes,
Okay, because we watched the Animaniacs reboot.
yeah.
And I am going to say we're probably not going to disagree as much as you thought, but we will probably be disagreeing.
Okay. So, guys, I'm gonna do a hopefully 1 minute good introduction. If you're not familiar with MES, it came out back in 1991. It, it was on Fox Kids, whatever weekend cartoon spot it was on. And it was all, no, it was basically a love letter to Warner Brothers and how they did their productions. Now, this was created and produced by Steven Spielberg from Amblin Entertainment. And guys, if you ever seen a Spielberg film, show, video game, you know that he puts a lot of effort into what he makes. Spielberg is one of the greatest directors in history, in my opinion. But, and maybe else, it been 1998. and took a 22-year hiatus. Now, what made it entertaining was how relevant it was with content. They made jokes about, you know, political news. They made, characters were, let's say, Huffa on a kids cartoon. And, we had the wacky zany, zany, zany to the max kind of glossy animation, which was a love for everyone who watched it in the 90s. Now, it ended in 98, like I said, and basically it was brought up for a reboot in 2018. It took them 2 years to premiere the reboot on Hulu, and from here we get into episode 1, which had a spoof parody of Jurassic Park.
All right.
And
So I do have to correct you.
God,
Animaniacs started in 93, not 91.
I can tell you.
Mm-hmm. And the thing about before we get to the actual show that is like the reboot, we have
Yeah,
to talk about the original series. This is Animaniacs. It deserves our respect.
yeah, the and I mean, like I said, it was beloved by a lot of people.
But
Me and Kickles definitely agree on that. I know that.
I mean, this is a creation of Tom Brugger, and like Brugger is like a giant, a phenomenon, a Goliath of like a titan of the animation industry. This is the person who was responsible for a pup named Scooby Doo. Like this, he was responsible for like most of the Scooby Doo stuff during like all of the '80s. Like he did like the New Scooby Doo Adventures. He was a story editor like on GoBots. He did the Snorks. He did 13 Ghosts of Scooby Doo, Pound
He
Puppies,
from
Tiny Toons.
uh,
He was the
yeah,
executive producer on Batman the Animated Series. Animaniacs, like this guy, the Batman Beyond. Animaniacs is the brainchild of one of the greatest animation creators of all time, which
yeah.
of course means that there is like a lot to live up to with the rebooted series. And to the point where it's kind of like heavy stuff put on the shoulders of who like the new showrunner is.
Yeah,
The new showrunner is Wesley Wild, who has a bit of a, I'm not going to say lesser career, but just not as much. He's primarily known for Family Guy and working with Seth MacFarlane. So his
yeah.
career is just It's his career's just shorter. He's
And
not the animation titan that
yeah,
Ruger was.
and I mean, be honest, like going from a adult cartoon, you know what I mean by that? Because
Well,
it's
adult cartoon.
yeah, it's one of the less adult ones out there. Like
Hmm.
it's not that bad compared to shows like Rick and Morty, Robot Chicken, those more graphic shows. But, I mean, being that he's from, you know, Family doesn't mean that, he should be named for just Family Guy. I mean, we all know that
Well,
now.
he's pretty much worked with mostly Seth MacFarlane's series. Like he did Family Guy, he did The Orville, he did Ted. He just did Animaniacs is his only non-Seth
Yeah,
MacFarlane
I
series.
mean,
So he
Seth,
has a particular style that he's done.
yeah, Seth MacFarlane does great cartoons. The Orville is a good show. I haven't got too much into it, so yeah. But he's a good creator and actor as well. So yeah. But no, I mean the MEX 2020 reboot is something that was wanted, but I don't think it was wanted in the way they made it out to be. At least with the fourth season, I will say,
Hmm.
because, well, say that for my opinion, but to get to the core of the episode, to the beginning of it, we, we had that Jurassic Park parody. We had, you know,
Now I kind of get why they did the Jurassic Park parody because that is something which would have been like relevant during the time of the original series.
yeah, no,
So
I think,
you've got to start the show with a joke that would fit sort of in that time frame.
yeah, and I mean, they wanted the joke to be a real recollection these ancient cartoons, like how Jurassic Park re did the dinosaurs.
Now, I'm going to tell you that the
Yeah,
joke is actually smarter than it appears. You know why?
why?
Okay. Jurassic Park was also rebooted around that time into the Jurassic World franchise.
yes,
So it
it
was a
was.
double reference.
Yeah, it
The
was.
Animaniacs were rebooted, and the Jurassic Park series is a dinosaur series that was rebooted as well.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. It does. I totally forgot that it would be around the same time frame. So that's why that slipped my mind.
So
Hmm.
it is a double layer joke.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Now, whether that was intended or not, it does work.
Yeah, I mean, with Animaniacs, everything has a intention behind it. So yes, I believe that was intended to be that double label jet. Now, I will say this: the all you know, they're going home part is was okay, but I mean, they're in for a surprise because you know it's been 20 years, so 20 will be technical, so they won't recognize it, but whatever. But now the first gag that you get is the Warren Brothers and the Warren Sister Dot messing with the kid called Ralph. With, I mean, it was nice to see them open the episode with a classic joke, a classic gag because you know they mess with him a lot in the original series, and it definitely shows like, hey, we'll do the same old animators, but after him cast them with a drum is, where they update it and change it a bit, but they also could further, you know, they end up capturing him in the net as well. So, yeah. Now we then take it to the Womble CEO, and did they give her a name or?
I don't believe that, they did not give her a name.
Uh,
She was basically not a character,
okay,
which
cool.
is my main problem with the episodes that we saw so far.
Okay.
But I'll wait till you finish with that.
Now, I mean, like Kickle, the Sexu's not a character, well, not a important character, let's put it like that, because, she's there to like, oh, hey, yeah, you guys, you were for the 90s, but then, you're not, because actually has changed. Oh, hey, and I know it's about you because it's here on my tablet with, you know, yeah, go then pushes to me a joke like an easy to swallow tab. Well, okay, let
Mm.
me give it a try. Oh, he gets shot and he automatically knows everything that happened in the last 20 years.
Which leads into the first real song.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm not planning on seeing it for you, but a few major events that they get over, um, you know, themselves or YouTubers, taxes on their equals, Tyson, they put up the acts and a collapsed economy with,
Well, a twice collapsed economy. Technically.
yeah,
They may have glossed over that,
yeah,
but we went through that
and
at least twice.
those stuff, those more political stuff that I don't talk about politics, so I'm gonna gloss over it a little bit. They talked about, George W. Bush and his presidency, how Obama, how, how Obama was and is a first African American president, and how we have a first orange president.
Quite true.
Not,
Quite true.
not, not say his name, but if you know what I mean by that, you know who I mean.
Well, I will say it is a little hard to talk about Animaniacs and not talk about politics because that has always been like one of the core elements of the comedy of the series.
Yeah, no, I mean, I get that, and that's true, but, you gotta take it with a grain of salt on here because you don't know what people in the chat would put out there. So,
Quite
yeah.
right. Agreeing with or not agreeing with is like you can leave that up in the air. But
Yeah.
jokes are jokes, and you should always be able to joke about politics.
Yeah, no, like, I don't mind a joke, poking fun of whatever,
Because everyone
but,
can make fun of anything.
yeah, but if you're going into talking about what is actually going on. I'm not a part of that, so you could count me out. But anyways, we then made up some crazy stuff because there was a line, but how are we supposed to know what happened over the last 2 years?
Hmm.
And then they made the joke of, you know, Bruiser or Bill Masters and those top rated show is called Chronicles with a time traveling police cop named Clunko. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
the, yeah, and that's the first song of this reboot.
I will say this. Before we get further into the show,
Yeah.
um, one issue that I do have with it is that this show does not seem to take enough risks. Um, okay, Animaniacs was 100% about pushing boundaries. It was a show based off of and about not just what current events were. And what, like, yes, they did make fun of and they did laugh. They did joke about like what was currently in the news, what was currently in like modern, but
Yeah.
the core thing about the Animaniacs was that they were supposed to be playing characters that weren't from the 90s.
Mm,
The Animaniacs were from the 60s,
yeah.
who were basically locked up in the tower and then came out in the 90s. And it was about them learning about what was current. So the Animaniacs being a group of sort of like time lost characters is already baked into the show.
Mm,
So the fact that they made a big deal about them coming back is missing a joke that was already baked into the DNA of the series. Like
yeah.
Animaniacs just being imprisoned again and this coming out again, just like they were in the past. Um, like the Animaniacs were basically Captain America in like the original series. They were Captain America.
Yeah.
Um, like Yakko Warner, Dot, like a lot of their humor was based off of 1960s style British humor with like the way the accents were, a lot of Beatles stuff. Like they were always supposed to be characters out of time. So the idea of trying to force them to Yakko has to learn everything that's happening in the modern day, and like and immediately swallowing a tablet and connected to the internet, that's not something that needed to happen. Them not knowing what is supposed to be current is something which could be a baked in part of the show.
Yeah.
Um, it also a lot of the characters that came to like represent what Animaniacs were, because like the Animaniacs themselves, like Yakko, Wacko, and Doc, they were always the bookends. They were always like they were the stars and the poster children of the show, but they were
Yes.
never the main characters of Animaniacs. It was the ensemble cast. They'd get like a 5 minute skit, and then you'd have the Good Feathers, or you'd have Buttons and Mindy, or you'd have whoever random thing that they were going to do.
Yeah. And you know,
Except for like a couple of rare instances, the Animaniacs themselves never really carried the episodes.
yeah. No. And I mean, gonna we're both gonna touch on this level in all comments. I know that, but you're definitely touching on what I highly disliked about this reboot because I mean you know what I'm good at, so I don't need to tell you, but
Oh,
yeah,
I can I can already see what some of your issues were, and I do share these issues.
yeah.
I will say, however, that once we get into the Pinky and the Brain section, that did feel like classic Pinky and the Brain for the most part.
Oh yeah, no, like the big gameplay was. I don't want to say this down, but I will. Pinky and Brain is what carried it for me because up until that point in Asshole, it was lackluster. I mean, like,
Mm.
really, it was. So, huh.
In fact, I am going to check and try and see who wrote the Pinky and the Brain segments of the show. Hold
Okay.
on a moment. Okay. Hmm. All right. Peter Hastings. Sapphire just disasters, producers. I'm trying to find it. All right, give me a second. You can head into like discussing the Pinky and the Brain episode while I'm doing this.
Okay. So, uh, okay. So, guys, Pinky and Brain was definitely the ballpark of this episode, and one thing, I mean, to be frank with you guys, like, this carried the freaking show, and it was one thing just to really carry the whole trip because, this really fleshed out the whole. Um, hey, Keckles,
Yep.
what were you looking for?
All right, I was looking to see who did the actual writing for the Pinky and the Brain segments.
Uh,
Um,
Colleen Chen and Brian Pope.
Okay, thank you for that. Uh, wait, I'm seeing Jess Latcher, Andrew Barbeau, and Greg White.
Okay, let me share my screen with you.
No, wait, that's episode 2. Let me see episode 1. And then I'm seeing. All right, let me see your screen. All right, let me see
Okay,
it.
okay, let me pull it up for a quick. So, so, okay, of,
Okay.
of mice and memes is really
Kathleen Chen and Brian Polk. All right, let me take a look at that.
okay. But, you know, of mice and memes, I mean, to sum it up, Blaine spent the 20 years kinda inventing the internet as it is today.
Oh, surprisingly, this was her first writing credit for Kathleen
And,
Chen. Who's the other person? Brian Polk, you said?
yeah, Blood Pulp. And they they actually wrote suspended and makes a part two as well.
Okay.
So
Well, I'm going to say, in general, Pinky and the Brain were always the best at carrying an episode on their own, which is why their solo series was the best.
yeah, no, I agree with you.
The actual Animaniacs always worked best in bite-sized chunks, whereas Pinky and the Brain, they can carry a story.
Yeah, no, and you know, I I definitely prefer this one of brain wanting to mind control the world with memes. I mean, really, he made a mind control filter, posted it on Rip Off Instagram, and had control for had control of the world for one day until Piggy screwed it up and used the mind control filter on
Okay,
Royal, yeah, the Royal Pig or whatever
I will
they,
say did that joke would have been out of place in like 2012, 2013. That did not feel like a 2020 joke.
yeah, I agree with that, but even though that that joke would have been outplaced if they did this back in 2008.
True. But then again, that also fits for Pinky and the Brain because most of Brain's references were like he was referencing Marlon Brando and like he was referencing things that were 20 years out of date when they were relevant.
Yeah,
So
nah,
I've got no problem with him using old jokes. That's Brain.
Yeah, no, I will say this. Like,
Like his
the,
plans don't. His plans are never supposed to make sense. One of his plans is wearing large pants and getting on Jeopardy. His
yeah,
plans don't
no,
make sense.
I mean, and we could debate about this, but if you listen to the Pekin Brain opening song where it says, Buenos dias a todos, saying, I'm willing to argue that the one that is insane is not who we think is.
True, true.
I mean, but yeah, okay, now move on to back to the woman. Let me just say this. It was a attempt at a comeback, and they succeeded, and it was a okay-ish attempt. So, in my opinion, but hey, we're not at that point yet. So, yeah. Okay, so you wanna dive into two before we go into our opinions?
Oh, I can get into my opinions even before, but yeah, we can get into the episode too.
Okay, because
I'm
if
already doing opinions, man.
yeah, no, if I get to mine and this is a teaser, I'm gonna decimate the show. So yeah. Okay, episode two will Woman's Unbound, which sees, and I hate this, sees the woman siblings as gods, and them want to take a vacation. They try, they can't because, you know, Odysseus is heckling them and splashed them with water from his boat, and, you know, they end up putting him on a island with a one-eyed only cyclops that had the mannerisms of a real-life person that I'm not gonna name,
All
but
right, all right, all right. Before we get into anything, this is not political at all. This is we're gonna say this right here and right now.
yeah,
This person that we are not talking about right now has been a celebrity that has been made fun of in cartoons since the 1980s. He has
yeah,
fair game to make fun of in a cartoon show.
definitely,
We
definitely,
have been joking about this person since the 80s in The Simpsons, in Animaniacs. in Tiny Toons. This
Yeah,
person has been a character that has been made fun of in jokes and that. So we can use him.
yeah, we can.
Precedent has been set decades ago.
Yeah, so
So a celebrity becoming a politician doesn't mean we can't stop treating them as jokes.
no, of course not. But
When Arnold Schwarzenegger became governor, we still joked about him.
yeah,
Okay? It's okay to joke. And that is actually my problem. Like, my biggest problem with the Animaniacs reboot, it is too tame. They are too holding back on things, and they need to be wilder. They made so much fun out of everyone, and they pulled no punches. And this series seems a little too tame. Odysseus, we are doing a Greek theme thing where we have the Animaniacs going after somebody and getting revenge on them. In the original series, they did this all the time. They would they would always punch up, and it was always up. They would never punch down on someone. It is someone in a position of authority who did something to piss them off, and they would go wild on them.
yeah,
If they are literal gods, which is what they are in this segment, then it is impossible for them to punch up, and they are punching down. And them punching down is the antithesis of what their comedy is supposed to be about. They are supposed to be going after executives. They are supposed to be going after celebrities. They're supposed to be going after businessmen. They're supposed to be going after people who've picked on them and started trouble with them. Odysseus just splashed them with water, and they end up killing off his crew and tormenting him. That
uh,
is not the Animaniacs.
no. Hmm. I mean, definitely, like, you know,
You're turning into a robot.
uh, um, is that better or no?
Yep, you're better. Hello,
Okay,
Grey Wolf.
let's get closer. But yeah, guys, I mean, the whole jokes, they're funny, they're funny, but I will also say this, and you gotta agree, like, the style of comedy they do is not for everyone. I mean,
No, I will agree with that.
yeah,
I think that that episode would have worked far better if they had been playing Odysseus themselves and it was about them going after the gods that were trying to stop them from getting home.
yes,
They
the,
have to be in a lower position attacking up.
yeah, no, them attacking down did not work for this. It did not convey what it wanted to convey, and honestly, it's something that really needed to be workshopped more than what it was.
Yes, the rule of animation and like animation protagonists who are going to be wacky is that they are supposed to be the underdogs in the situation. Think Bugs Bunny. It's Bugs Bunny is using his his wits to outwit the hunter, or the person, like the hunter, or the monster, or whatever the
yeah,
situation he's in. He is on the he is someone coming from a lower position, using his wits to turn the tables. If you're already on the other side of the table, there's no reason to turn it, so there's no joke.
yeah, no,
It's just
no,
you being mean.
yeah. Now, I mean, this segment was good for what it was. It just needed to workshop the jokes a bit more to give them that punch that they needed to give. So,
I'm going to say that no amount of workshopping could have fixed this segment, because the segment inherently is flawed from the ground up for me.
yeah, I totally did that. Now,
But you found this segment, you found this part funny though.
I mean, yeah, it was funny to a point. Like, it did make me chuckle. Like,
Okay.
I'm not gonna say it was like making me full out belly laugh,
Oh no,
but
I got you on that. I got you on that.
but yeah, it made me chuckle a bit. Now then we have another key and blame summit, which is how to brain your dragon. And let me just point let me point out that this segment title did make me laugh a bit
Hmm.
because
Oh no,
it,
I had a good time with this part.
yeah, I mean just the title after Brain Your Dragon. If you're familiar with one of DreamWorks' most popular movies in the last decade, then you know where the joke comes from.
I
Uh,
actually did not notice that until you just pointed that out.
yeah, but yeah, no, I mean, it's medieval times. Blade tries to conquer the kingdom by defeating a dragon. That's literally the one sentence plot of this segment, and there's a lot more in it than what you expect from that one sentence. Now, the dragon they attempt to defeat was a dragon that liked to act and didn't know how to breathe foul, but brain, worked with that and basically got the dragon to almost burn down the whole kingdom and, almost took control of the kingdom. But of course, we can't have that happen. So, Blaine loses and we're on our merry way. what did you think about this?
Okay, so for this one, um, I have always been one who prefer the Pinky and the Brain comic cartoons that were set in the modern day. Um, there are a bunch of ones that are like time travel or like set in different time periods. Those ones were good. I still prefer like the regular day Pinky and the
Yeah,
Brain stuff.
no, I got you.
This still was funny. Um, I was expecting the whole minstrel group that they came across to have more of an effect on the episode rather than just appearing at the end. I would have
Yeah,
preferred if like followed them throughout the episode, interrupting what they were trying to do.
yeah,
It felt a bit more rushed than the previous Picking the Brain segment. I don't know if it was a similar like length of time for that segment, but it did feel a little more rushed. Um, the whole joke with the dragon um, playing dead and just repeating himself over and over again, a little telegraphed, a little like overdone,
yeah,
but there were the little things in the episode that really did get me. Like when the dragon knocks over the castle and the characters are imprisoned in the dungeon and there's no roof. That's funny.
yeah,
When the entire rest of the castle is like destroyed and there's just one tower that's left, and I don't know if you noticed it, but I noticed it. That's basically the water tower.
yeah, it is. I did.
Animaniacs water tower. That stuff in the episode. The dragon pretending to be scary. The performances were good. It was funny. The king continuing to go try to crown Brain repeatedly. That was funny,
Yeah,
but it did feel rushed, and it felt rushed. The ending was just a little too abrupt. The way the dragon just flew off at the end. Where was he going?
yeah,
It just felt like the script told him he's supposed to leave now, when there was no logical reason for him to leave.
nah, I mean,
Because the characters get locked up as soon as he leaves, but where is he going?
yeah,
His audience is here.
yeah, it's like, as it says left dragon.
Yeah. So that was it funny? Yes. Was it cohesively written? No.
No, yeah, uh, I mean, it was okay. It's okay. Now we we get into Suffolk City, which, okay, I appreciate the sentiment of why they wanted to do this segment, because it was the 100th anniversary of the 19th Amendment, giving women the right to vote.
I like that too. My biggest problem with that is that that's not what the whole segment was about.
Yeah, no,
It should have been.
it, it really should have been, like, I mean, I seriously would have liked a song about Mississippi afternoon or one of the two women.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that's what I would like to see, that they take a moment to do a little education.
This is
No,
from the same studio that brought us Hysteria, an entire series which was nothing but music and like songs about history.
yeah, so now I would have loved just this one segment to be, oh, let's recognize the historic event going on, and let's not muck it up
With a song
with,
about giving cartoons the right to vote,
yeah, I
which was
mean,
just an excuse to have a bunch of cartoon cameos.
definitely, like,
A bunch of poorly animated cartoon cameos.
oh, yeah. I mean, it's clear that, this was written on a budget. I mean, like, really,
We have to say that yes, it is very much evident.
yeah. But no, like, that's the biggest problem with this one segment. They could have done better, but they didn't. I mean, this was a moment that they could have and should have done a more educational yet funny song about the suffrage movement. And just like how they did with the president song in the original Animaniacs, because that was, humbling, educational, but it made fun a bit at the presidents. So, yeah.
Mhm.
Anyways, that's the last segment of this. Hey, grateful shop. Very well. Good to see you.
Hello.
So, are we ready to dive into opinions?
Well,
Um,
all right. I've already been giving my opinion. If you want to
yeah.
give out your opinion, you can go, and then I will go, and we will debate this show. I'm going to start my thought, though, with this show has or had since the third season was the final season. It had promise. I don't know if it gets better after this, but you could see that there is something there.
Okay, thank you for showing my comment for me because it did have promise. I will admit, like, I did not watch much of season two. I watched the majority of season one when it came out. But this, like we've been saying the whole show, it could have done better, it should have done better. And I mean, honestly, I hate doing this because it's trying to build on a legacy, and it didn't do well with that for what we've seen here tonight. I freaking give this a 3 out of 10, and I normally don't go that low. 3 out of 10 for me. It could have been better, and I freaking wanted it to be better. Geckos?
All right, so I'm going to say this. I'm looking over the course of the series,
Yep.
and apparently, there are 72 Yakko and Dot segments, 34 Pinky and the Brain segments, 5 Starbuck and Cindy segments. I have no idea who that is, and only one Slappy Squirrel segment. Like, this is not Animaniacs in that way. It's like Animaniacs is an ensemble series, it is an anthology series about animation from different styles and different times. It is not about the Warners. Like, the Warner Brothers and the Warner sister are not the Animaniacs. The Animaniacs are the ensemble cast.
Yeah, not
So
right.
if you are bringing back the Animaniacs, but only bringing back the Warners, then you are not bringing back the Animaniacs.
No, and let me quote this for the original super. It's playing Jane in our contract. It wasn't the and it wasn't the woman's contract.
Hmm.
It it could say it in each those contracts that they wanted in the media.
Exactly.
So yeah,
Yes, they Yakko and Wacko Dot are the Warner siblings. They are not the Animaniacs. They are the Warner siblings who are members of the Animaniacs.
yeah, definitely.
Um, the animation, this show very clearly had a lower animation budget. It's
Yeah,
self-evident. Now,
uh,
can that be a deal breaker? No, it doesn't have to be a deal breaker.
no,
Plenty of
of
shows
course,
have lower animation budgets. But when you have things like that suffrage song, where you have a lot of characters on screen and they are poorly animated, that will ruin a segment.
yeah,
Because if you don't have the budget to animate that many people, don't have that many people on screen.
agree. Okay, now since we have finished this, I will ask you this, Keckles. Do, do you want to explain what we're doing next week for our 100th episode?
Well, next week we are going to be analyzing the difference between two shows. One, a Japanese series, and two, the English adaptation of it. Even though I
Yeah.
just did this is two and this is one. um, we're taking Super Sentai series Hurricaneger and the American adaptation of it, Power Rangers Ninja Storm. My
yeah,
boy DJ is going to be taking Ninja Storm, and I'm going to
mm,
be taking Hurricaneer. We're going to
yeah,
be talking about the two different shows,
yeah,
the differences between them, and our opinions on them.
yeah. I mean, I'm a big parental fan, and Ninja Storm was one of my favorite parental seasons.
Ninja
And
Storm was really good.
yeah, and Kegels is more into the Sentai of it, and he's correct me if I'm wrong, but Whole Control was one of, if not the one you began with. Would that be a accurate statement?
Well, the first one I actually began with was Zoo Ranger, which was like Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Yeah.
The first series I watched to completion was actually King Oger. That was the first one that I watched every single episode of. Though I've watched I did watch most of Gokaiger years ago. I watched a bunch. I watched a bunch of them. I watched Hurricaneer last year.
Okay, so I mean, it's relatively fresh in your memory.
Yeah, I
So
will have to do a refresher.
yeah, yeah, no, I know that, but yeah, and I will say this for us, we're gonna touch on some major parts of each show, not just like episode 1, 2, but we're gonna be looking at,
Hmm.
beginning, some middle, some at the end, or, whatever we come up with. So, yes, for our 100th episode will be a really unique, special episode. So, so yeah, join us for that next Tuesday, and we do need to figure out what we're doing on Friday. Or did we? I don't remember if we discussed
We
that
haven't
first.
yet. I'm gonna have to think of one, but I will let you know by tomorrow.
Okay, so I will let you know. Alright, guys, I would like to say all for once, and definitely stay tuned for what's coming up. I'm putting out some holiday content this week. Bye, guys.
Later, taters.